If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. And who did this happen to? Who got led into captivity by the so-called white man? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And we were patiently waiting for what? The Lord to bring us justice. For Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai to grant unto us justice. Because we know the so-called white man, he ain't gonna he's not gonna put himself or exact justice upon himself. Nah, the Lord is gonna have to come back and do it. So-called white man ain't giving you Negroes, Latinos, or Native Americans no reparations. He's not gonna do anything to build you up as a nation, man. Because the so-called white man knows, especially the elites that be, they knows that once they're on top, to keep themselves on top, they have to keep you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans on the bottom. But guess what? Our patience is in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, knowing that the Lord is definitely going to exact judgment for his hopeful elect and really for the entire nation of Israel upon Esau, Edom, and the rest of these heathen nations. And it's written in the law that the Lord have to get vengeance for us, have to get justice for us. Because the Lord is a power of justice, especially when it comes to his chosen people, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the Israelites. This is the book of Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, that's what the transatlantic slave trade was about, stealing men and selling them, stealing Israelites and selling them. Or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And are we not this day in our captivity? Baruch 3 and 8. So the so-called white man stole us from the west coast of Africa, brought us here to the Americas. He stole the indigenous people, brought a lot of them back to Europe, and ultimately he enslaved us, blacks, indigenous, Latinos, so on and so forth, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of North, South, and Central America. And we still found in his hand. We still in these lands on the bottom. We still in the ghettos, the slums, the shantytowns, the favelas, the barrios of North, South, and Central America. And really, you have all the tribes here in Babylon the Great. Scriptures say about Judah and Israel were oppressed together. The northern and the southern kingdom oppressed together here particularly here in Babylon the Great America. So we understand the judgment for that. So going back to the topic, the Lord is going to throw this place down. Because Esau, Edom, he has had that perpetual hatred against us, which is all set up in the spirit, going back to Cain and Abel. But ultimately, it's the Lord program, is the Lord ultimate will to bring Esau, Edom down. Because in order for the Israelites to be on top, Esau, Edom has to go down. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, perpetual meaning continuous, forever really, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Let me read that again. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So there you have it right there. So the so-called white man has been continuously unjust and unrighteous and dealt with us wickedly and with hatred and has shed our blood continuously, man. So going back to Malachi 1, Malachi 4, his rulership is going to be devoured. It's going to be totally and utterly wasted. And that's the righteous will of our Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And we're living in those times. We're living in the times of where we're going to get justice. Because, like I said, the power of heaven and earth, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, is a power of justice. And that's what the law is about. So the law stipulates that, the so-called white man has to be brought down, has to go into captivity. And ultimately, like Obadiah says, is going to be an extermination process upon the house of Esau, Edom. Thus say the Lord, thus say the Holy Scriptures. So with that, hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Going to say our praises be to Abanawa, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone and Wool Well, and Shalom to the elect. Abba